So Lynch Mob is back, actually.
Yeah, probably. I think it went away for like one show. It didn't work, so
Okay.
they're like, you got to go back and just call your band what you've been calling for the last 30 years, 35 years.
Makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, it's dumb to change it. It's like, if I was president of Coke, would I change it? Yeah, I would for like one day. And then
True.
Then the board would yell at me and I'd have to go back to Coke.
What
I'd
else
change
is-
it to Sparkle. That wouldn't be good for business, right? I change
know.
Coke to Sparkle?
That sounds like a variety of Coke, actually.
Yeah.
That'd be like a spin-off brand.
Maybe you should work at Coke with me. We could work together.
Marketing,
You
yeah.
could be my better angel. You could just be on my right shoulder right here. Hey, George, I want to save Sparkle for an offshoot. We'll
Okay.
get together, dude. We'll probably be pretty successful. We'll have a good run, and then we'll get one of those golden parachute packages.
Oh, nice. I would love one of those.
Yeah, it'd be like 150 million or something like that.
That sounds good.
Now that we're talking about it, you could probably go ahead after the interview and stop at the Ferrari dealer and put in your order in anticipation of the 150 mil we're going to be getting.
Yeah, I mean, seems like you can rely on getting those even if you fuck up pretty badly.
We're going to be fine, dude. Call your wife and let her know the good news. It's going to be cool.
I'm not married, but
Now
if
you
I
will
was,
be.
yeah.
They're going to be beating a path to your door now that they don't get that 150 mil.
All right, I'll tell someone.
Put it out there on your dating app.
Yeah.
I got 150 mil.
Promise, I'm not going to dwell too much on like old Doc and drama. I decided I definitely don't want to do that in this interview. But one little
Okay,
piece,
so which means that you're going to do that. Okay.
just one little piece. This is the only Doc and drama involved that I know of, anyway. In a interview from, I don't remember when it was, about a year and a half ago, with Chuck Shoot on YouTube, Don claimed that he played practically all of the guitars on Dysfunctional, except for you playing the solo on Too High to Fly. Now that didn't sound right to me. Can you tell us what the truth is?
No, I actually sang all the vocals on that record. So we had a deal where we were going to change instruments. This is a thing we used to do in the band when we first started. When we had rehearsals, because we rehearsed in this basement. And we get bored, and we would like, let's rehearse naked. Or let's rehearse, let's everybody change instruments, so we just like do musical chairs.
Oh, that must have been interesting.
Yeah. So that was that. So then we grew a pair, and we go, okay, let's do a whole album like that. So we played the whole album naked and changed instruments. And that was why it was such a bad record, because it sold the least of any of our records other than Shadow Life, whatever that is.
Okay.
Other piece of shit talking record we did. It seemed like a good idea. My advice, the lesson I learned from that is keep your pants on and stick to your instrument. Play with your mouth.
That sounds like a good idea,
That's
generally
what advice
speaking.
is, right? Take
Yeah.
that to the bank.
What is the status of your deal with Arcane Pickups? I've heard that you're still with them. I've heard that you aren't.
Both are true.
Really?
Yeah, I still work with Arcane, but I'm also got my toes in the water and out with other builders right now, developing and designing some new things. Just to keep, stay flexible. Yeah, I love Rob. I love what Arcane does. About building. But we gotta keep moving.
Oh, okay.
Like a shark, dude. If I don't keep moving, I die. You gotta keep oxygen flowing through the gills.
Yeah. So, do you know if more of that model are going to be made?
Oh yeah,
Oh, okay.
absolutely.
So just a question of when, I guess, because I know he does them like kind of periodically anyway.
Yeah. I know people are really, everywhere you look on the news, that's all they're talking about. I just pulled up my CNN the headline. It didn't even talk about Trump. It was just like, well, Trump is worried about it too. What's going on with those George Lynch Arcane pickups?
Yeah.
And the stock market was down for a second because they thought maybe they weren't going to be anymore.
Yeah, and wasn't there another one about Rob having them wound in China or Korea and having these massive tariffs on them?
Oh, that'd be funny. But the elements of some of the elements that go into building the pickup, like the Alnico magnets and certain kinds of wire, their proprietary new old stock material, can be subject to tariffs potentially. So yeah, there are things to consider about that. The bobbins are sourced sometimes not domestically, but it's all, everything that we use, we insist on using things that are essentially the same thing they use to build PAFs, for instance.
Oh, okay.
Or Gretsch or Gill pickups. Same materials.
Saturate the airways with low frequency and debauchery and white privilege and prejudice and lack of education.
How did Infidelica start?
That's a very good question. I remember how it started. I think I was playing with a certain drummer whose name escapes me. And I don't remember what context we were playing together, but something was going on there. Him and I were doing something. And he knew the singer,
Angela Moore.
Angela Moore, and I think that's how it began. I'm not 100% sure. Another way it might have worked was there's a really wonderful girl that I used for many years in wardrobe a lot of times on videos and so forth, photo shoots, and she was also very good friends with Angela, actually ex-girlfriend.
Oh.
So maybe through her. I can't exactly remember how we met, but bottom line is I got to know him really well. We started hanging out, be over at his house a lot, and we just started jamming. It was really magic. I mean, times 1,000. It was so beautiful. It's one of the least appreciated of my projects, I think, and recognized. But I believe it's one of the most creative projects. At least I felt while I was doing it that was the case. I know it's not my wheelhouse. I know it's not what people expect from me. That was true, and I wasn't trying to do something different to be different. I was just kind of stripped down and playing with people that I really love playing with. Pancho Tomaselli on bass, from War, and Tower of Power. I mean, amazing talent. And Angelo, I'm sorry, but Angelo Moore to me is one of the world's greatest living frontmen. He's a genius. He really is. I mean, we've taken long drives together when we were touring. And he would sit there and just recite poetry verbatim off the top of his head for 15-20 minutes of this whole poetic discourse that he had written.
Wounds that will not heal on this bloody battlefield. Body is broken and kneeled, but will this nation heal?
How'd that happen?
How'd that happen? I'm sorry, I'm a really bad interview because I don't remember anything. But Corey was a friend. We'd done some things before, and I don't really remember why I just didn't keep working with.
Project Infidelica?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what happened was we got a little bit of pressure from the record company to kind of go a little bit more back towards what I was known for, a little bit pro rock.
Oh, okay.
So, because Project Infidelica was so left field for the label, they were kind of like, nobody wanted it. And I finally found a label that was willing to give me something for it. It was very little money. So it wasn't really enough to really do anything for anybody. We just barely got the record made on a shoestring, and everybody got a couple bucks in their pocket, but it wasn't much. And I go, well, I can't keep doing this, because you keep doing that, and that's your new price.
Yeah.
You can't set the bar low. So I talked to a label, and they said, well, if you kind of, we started talking, and they were big fans of Corey, from Living Color and everything, and that's sort of a rock soul hybrid thing, so we go, okay, and it made sense. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that. And then the money got better, and I wanted to differentiate it from Project Infidelica. Because also that was a name that was very hard to spell.
Yeah.
And also very hard to, if you want to look it up on iTunes, you can't spell it, how do you buy it? And maybe we're working against ourselves there. So we did the name change. There you go.
Ask him, why is it called Mr. Scary? That's a good question.
Really? Okay. Well, he says to ask you why you're called Mr. Scary.
Well, I don't think there's any real hard and fast reason why that little name stuff. I think it was just we had a skeleton hanging in front of the bus. The bus at one point that Doc and used, and I did some weird things there once in a while, just like everybody else when I was younger. And so they of equated me with that, and that thing was called Mr. Scary.
Oh, okay.
And then that name transferred to me somehow because I did something dumb once. Well, it depends what you paid. I mean, I do some of my own finishes, but those are stained, rattle can, what other hand painting, if I have a brush with acrylic. But anything that's like a graphic, yeah, that's a whole other level, which I have no idea how to do. And I have the equipment for it. You gotta have a booth, gotta have a compressor, a spray gun. I don't have that stuff. I use rattle cans.
Huh.
Ryan paints his own drums.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like
I've restored them because they were in a fire. Remember that place I had back in Bouquet Canyon?
oh shit!
Oh, really?
About that.
That place caught on fire. My dryer, the wires in the fucking electrical fire.
Insane.
That.
Hey, you think that never happened to you? Like whoever thinks that's going to really happen?
No,
it
and
really
it
happens.
really, you're down in Santa Cruz and your landlord calls and goes, your house is on fire. It's her house. The family's house. House on fire. I'm like, everything I had. I stopped having storage. I stuffed it all in there.
Really?
3 fire trucks there. Put it all out. But everything I owned, everything was affected to different levels. But I was like,
You had your studio, right?
all the Pro Tools, mics, computer
Everything
shit,
smelled like smoke.
everything stuff. We had to go play Vamp the next day. We still had to load out in the dark, no electricity, load up smelly drums and shit, and drive to Vegas.
A few moments later.
Yeah, you should base some stuff on that. Just name your guitars based off of that. You don't do that yet, do you? You should.
Well, I want to be careful. I want to do it with other people's companies or on my own because I like to tell the truth. I'm not like you.
Yeah. See, I never had a fire. I just went inside when I started burning shit, and I told the video.
Have you heard his solo album, Lion Sack of Shit? Have you heard it?
No, I haven't.
It's a
Where can I get it?
It's a picture of a lion with a sack shit.
Lion Sack
Speaking
of
of
Shit.
lions, I
Speaking of lions,
was not gonna tell you about this news, but I'm sure you know George has the Tiger Club.
Yep.
So I'm starting my own club. It's a little bit cooler, a little louder, a little more rambunctious, a little tougher. It's the Lion Club, and I sell drums, and we do comedy skits, and we sign shit.
Yeah, but it's spelled Lyin.
yeah. The Lion Club.
Yeah, after a second, I was like, okay, I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, untruthfulness cool again.
Do we like the White Wedding song? Are we still into it?
Yeah,
We like it, right?
timeless, man.
It's pretty timeless.
Yeah, he was in that band.
Oh, really?
I've been doing this almost as long as George now.
No.
Like percentage-wise, it's getting closer.
But he's been way more cool bands.
Yeah,
was
but
like in one band.
but I still work for him. That's he still pays me.
We work together, you know.
I don't know if I've ever paid George. I don't think so. I don't know if I ever will.
Here's the thing.
Unless I do a solo record, I go, George, will you play a solo on my solo record?
Dude, something happens, and the shit hits the fan, and the fucking, actor God cancels the show or whatever, somebody gets sick. I lose money. You're never gonna worry about losing money.
Oh, you're still gonna pay me?
You still get paid no matter what.
Oh. How many mistakes can I make in one show before you go, I gotta dock some pay? Like
I think
dude,
James Brown did.
like every song, you fucked the ending up, you fucked the intro up, you fucked the breakup, you went into extra, every song you fucked. Would you still pay me
I'd
full?
be in debt after every show if that was the case. I
Yeah,
make
you-
more mistakes than anybody.
Do you have any advice for like young musicians starting out? I mean, I know the industry has changed a lot, but
Yeah, get a real job. Don't quit your day job. Be diversified.
What does that mean? Music?
That means like there's a lot of different areas in music, so have all those covered if you can. Like endorsements, touring, records, know contracts, understand contracts, write for other people, be a writer, be a player, be a studio guy, be able to kind of put different masks on, different hats, and do different things because there's always, ebbs and flows and peaks and valleys in the business over the decades. And the weather like the 90s like we did in the early aughts, it was difficult.
And be able to play like Angus Young solos and Yngwie solos, so you can get different gigs.
yeah.
And join different tribute bands.
And go and hire robots for your band.
Oh
They
yeah.
don't eat.
True.
Paying per diem. I have to pay this guy.
George could just mute the guitars on the, Lynch Mob, like Wicked Sensation record, and just crank the record up and just play to it and go on tour.
I'm sure some people wouldn't
get on
mind.
stage and play the whole fucking record, but you just go in the studio and just mute those guitars, so everything else is exactly what everybody wants to hear. Crank your gig sounds thick. And he's plays it.
No, but
Is that fun?
live performance is so about the visual as well. It's almost like food on your plate.
You have a reel, you have a screen of the history of you for about 45 minutes. It's just fucking YouTube
Of more
footage.
interesting stuff than a 7-year-old husband standing up there
I don't know, or you could
looking at his shoes.
It could be videos of the Lynch Mob.
That's what's often happened in some of the big venues I've worked in. I'll just say that much. So I've worked in that industry a bit, and yeah, there's a lot of that actually going on
Well, that's
now.
assuming you have a screen.
That too.
We don't have that.
Feel like signing the back of this headstock for the merch table?
What's that? What is that? It's part of the Tiger Club?
It's not a Lion Club, that's for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
so
I'm starting my
so
Lion
he's
Club.
told you about that idea
Selling
too.
that snare drum.
Bring you one more. Hold on one second.
You sell that snare. Start the Lion Club tonight.
Shit, dude, bring it out there. Bring it out.
Yeah, I got I had the spare head from the original head from that drum. Yeah, Lion Club. I don't know why I'm
Start that and do it and compete with this when I got that out there.
instead of the
Get a sign.
Liars
Did you help him
Club.
make a Lion Club sign for the merch booth? But spell it L-Y-I.
Yeah.
But I have nothing that's lion related. He's got a tiger related theme. I've got no lion. I could do the Fire Club.
Get a fucking wig name.
No, the Fire and Flood Club. How about
There's a
Fi-
wig shop right down the street.
Fire Flood Club.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
appreciate it.
No problem.
And thank you for joining in.
Thank